Hi, kindergarten friends. It's time for today's interactive read aloud. And today we're going to be reading the book, All Pigs Are Beautiful. This is the next book in our text set 13, Exploring Fiction and Nonfiction. You may remember that yesterday's book was a fiction story about pigs. Today's story is a nonfiction book about pigs. It is going to tell us some true facts. There will also be a few imaginary parts in this book and some opinions in this book. The author thinks all pigs are beautiful. That is something that we call an opinion because not everyone might agree with that. Some people may not think pigs are beautiful, although the author in this book feels very firmly that pigs are beautiful, all of them, no matter what they look like. Well, we're going to read this story written by Dick King Smith and illustrated by Anita Jerem. I'm going to be reading from my little book here, and you're going to see the illustrations from the computer. When we're done, I will ask you if you think all pigs are beautiful. So at the beginning of this book, there are end papers, look like this. Got all different colors and shapes of pigs. I'll show you. And there's a little poem in here. It says, there are little pigs and big pigs, pigs with long snouts and pigs with short snouts, pigs with ears that stick up and pigs with ears that flop down. But all pigs are beautiful. All Pigs Are Beautiful by Dick King Smith, illustrated by Anita Jerem. All pigs are beautiful. I love pigs. I don't care if they're little pigs or big pigs, with long snouts or short snouts, with ears that stick up or ears that flop down. I don't mind if they're black or white or ginger or spotty. I just love pigs. If you really twisted my arm and said, you must have a favorite sort of pig, what is it? Then I might have to say, a white, black-spotted, middling-snouted, flop-eared pig that comes from Gloucestershire. Though of all the pigs I've ever owned, my one particular favorite was a boar called Monty, who was a large white. A male breeding pig is called a boar. The luckiest pigs, like Monty, live outside. I'm going to stop you real quick right there, boys and girls. So the author of our story, he seems to know a lot about pigs. Do you think that he's owned pigs in his life? I definitely think so, especially since he had a particularly favorite pig when he said, though of all the pigs I ever owned, my one favorite was a boar called Monty. All right, well, let's learn some more about Monty and why he's the favorite. Monty never looked very white because he lived out in a wood where there was a pond in which he liked to wallow, but he looked very large, and he was. So if he'd never looked white, boys and girls, what color do you think he looked? Yeah, he probably looked dirty and muddy because he liked to go into the pond. A good coating of mud protects a pig from sunburn. I bought him as a youngster, but when he was full grown, he weighed 600 pounds. Monty was so gentle. When I went out to feed him and his 10 wives, he would come galloping through the trees to my call, a really monstrous and frightening sight to anyone who didn't know what a soppy old thing he was. So he said he looked scary, but he really wasn't. What he really loved, once he'd finished his slop, was to be scratched on the top of his head between his big ears, and it always affected him the same way. His eyes, with their long pale lashes, would close in ecstasy, and slowly his hindquarters would sink down until he was sitting on his bottom like a huge dog. "Oh, this is lovely," you could hear him thinking. "What more can life offer?" So can you really hear a pig thinking? No, but that's what he imagined the pig would be thinking. A pig can eat everything you can and more. Besides, you couldn't digest grass and roots and tubers, for instance, but a pig can. Most pigs aren't so fussy. Just having their backs scratched is enough for them. They squirm with pleasure, and of course you have to talk to them. Pigs, like people, enjoy a good talk, so don't just stand there and say nothing. "Piggy, piggy, piggy" will do if you don't happen to know the pig's name. Pigs have a very keen sense of smell. They can smell food even when it's buried underground. Boys and girls, looking at this pig reminds me of a dog. He's scratching like a dog, and the boy is petting him like a dog. Do you think the pig enjoys being petted? I definitely think so. If I'm talking to a big fat sow and don't know what she's called, I usually call her Mother or Mummy. They like that. A female breeding pig is called a sow. Sows who live outdoors build large nests of grass, sticks, and bracken in which to have their babies. A sow normally has between 8 and 12 piglets at a time. Sows spend their lives having babies, loads of them, and they take as good a care of them as your mom does of you. Well, almost. Trouble is, newborn piglets are so small that sometimes the sow lies down and squashes one. Your mother would never do that to you, I hope. You see that right here? She's accidentally sat down on her. And pigs are very, very heavy. You heard him say 600 pounds was one pig. It would definitely squish the baby. Of course, when you're busy talking to pigs, telling them how wonderful they are or how wonderful their babies are, the pigs are talking back. Those who don't know much about them just hear grunts and squeaks, but there are all kinds of things a pig might be saying to you if you understood the language of a pig, such as... Okay, so now he's going to tell you what he thinks the pig might be saying to you. Do we really know what pigs are thinking? No. Do pigs really talk? No. So he thinks that the pigs might be saying, "How kind of you to admire my children." Or, "Scratch a little harder, please. Up a little to the left. Down a little. Yes, that's it." Or, "Well, actually, you're not the first person to call me beautiful." See the pig looking at the girl. "This food is really excellent. Yum, yum, yum. Thanks a bunch." But of course, pigs, like people, aren't always sunny and good-tempered, and you might hear, "Hurry up, you crazy two-legged creature. I am starving and you're late." Or, "Don't you dare pick up one of my babies or I'll bite you." And you be careful. Pigs have a horrible bite, so don't take any chances. Pigs know their own minds like people, which makes it difficult to herd them. A pig's insides are pretty well exactly the same as ours too. Heart and lungs and liver and kidneys and stomach, they're all in the same places as ours are. And pigs, like people, can eat meat or vegetables or both. Like people, or at any rate, people once they're potty trained, pigs are very clean and will never soil their own nests. Have you noticed how often I've said that pigs are like people? That's one of the reasons I like them so much. There is one big difference, though. People can be good looking or just ordinary looking or plain ugly, but all pigs are beautiful. Isn't that funny? All pigs are beautiful. Okay, boys and girls, after listening to this story, do you agree? Do you think that all pigs are beautiful? You may not feel exactly the same as the author. Oh, I'm sorry, that all disappeared. But the author definitely thinks that pigs are beautiful, and that is his opinion. This book had a lot of opinions, but it also had a lot of facts, things that we learned were true. So can you tell me something you learned about pigs from this story? We learned that mud protects the pigs from the sun, that they have a good sense of smell. A male pig is called a boar. We learned they have lots of babies. The author says that pigs are a lot like people. Can you remember some of the reasons why he thinks this? They can eat everything people can. They enjoy a good talk. They take good care of their babies. He said that they can be stubborn, and their insides are the same as ours. They have the same organs as we do. Having a pig for a pet might be interesting. Can you turn and talk to someone and tell them what you think it would be like to have a pet pig? The author also thinks all pigs are beautiful. I told you at the beginning we'd talk about this again. Do you believe that all pigs are beautiful? Why or why not? So this story is a nonfiction book, although it did have some parts in it that were fiction. It had some made up parts. It talked about what the pig is thinking, and the author said that he was imagining what the pigs would say if the pigs could talk. So that having a pig talking would definitely not be true. We aren't really sure what pigs are thinking or what they're trying to say or communicate, right? But we do know that when you pet them and they look like they're happy, that they must enjoy it. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story. All pigs are beautiful, and you learned a few facts that you didn't already know. Have a great day.